It's time for the final round of the 2013 Classic Stock Cat Championship. Before we start the race, let's have a look at this. It's Imran Khan, who had a big spin on the warming up lap through Hall Bends. Lucky enough, he didn't come into contact with any barriers, and he'll be able to take his place up on the second row of the grid. On pole position for the final round, it's Andy Philpotts, who was quickest in the wet qualifying session yesterday on the second best times. Andy Lightstead will start alongside him. The second row, that's Matt Rosier, and then Imran Khan. The race gets underway, and it's a good start from poleman. That's Andy Philpotts that takes the lead. Lightstead's gonna fit into second, is he? Where's the 205 of Rosier? And they turn their way through Coppice. It's wet round here, and that's Rosier's and Stubbington. Look at the two 205s, but no, it's actually Stubbington from the. It's Rosier got the lead even. Yes, a fantastic start from Matt Rosier. We couldn't see that in all the spray. Rosier leads, second Philpotts, third is Stubbington. So the two 205s there come in for Stubbington from 6th to take that third position. Great stuff from him. So down the hill, a little river there. It was very wet this morning. A few hours ago, it started to dry out. Look at Khan looking to the inside. Look at Stubbington. He's going through on the inside of Philpotts. It's 1-2 for the 205s. They're really reveling in these conditions. It was relatively damp around all of the circuit, but some real wet patches as well. Almost contact between Khan and Lightstead, the two ARL racing cars. But Lightstead stays in front. But about Philpotts, he's trying to get back ahead of Stubbington as they head into the gooseneck for the first time. Then it's a 13 minutes plus 1 lap race, as usual in the 750 Motor Cup races. No different for the final round of the championship here at Cadwell Park. They go down the hill, down to Mansfield. Matt Rosier, who looked like the quickest man yesterday in the soaking wet conditions, but couldn't get past Andy Philpotts. He's driving into the distance here for the final round of the series. Don't think Rosier's won a race yet this season. It's about of a second though into the mountain. Stubbington's got Philpotts. And now we're going to look at Lightstead round the outside of Philpotts. Can't get it all sideways. Then a clash between Lightstead and Philpotts. Philpotts lost it and right into the barrel without Imran Khan, who had nowhere to go. And he's gone into it on this wet grass going up a hill. Imran Khan struggling to get it back on the road. He eventually does though, but he's pretty much right at the back of the field. Of course, Andrew Philpotts even further back. Let's take a look at that on board with Andrew Lightstead then, who's going to follow Philpotts originally, and then he's sort of slower on the inside, found the grip round the outside, but not enough room for the second part for the two cars. It had the contact, and the second bit of contact there almost speared Lightstead to the left of the circuit. Another replay this aboard with Keith Morgan. Then Mervyn Beckett had Colin Thorpe go round the outside of him, so that's what Lightstead was trying to do, and then Thorpe ran out wide, and Morgan goes between the two cars. Khan on the right hand side of the circuit. Right, back to the action then, and it is Imran Khan. Here we go on the inside of Ben Ward for Coppice. The worstest part of the circuit is Coppice Corner. Gets that done. Ryan Lowry is the next person to find a way past. Lowry's been near the front lately. Had problems in qualifying though. Started to start at the back of the grid. He moves out of the way because he sees Imran Khan on a charge. Of course, Khan, a multiple race winner this season. The only other person to win the match races he has is Lee Scott. He's the champion. So up the hill, up the park straight they go then. It's Phil Wilson who's next on Khan's list to get through. Is he going to get that done at Park Corner? I don't think it'd be close enough, not unless Wilson moves out the way. Well, I don't think, well, he has no need to do that. It should be Chris Curve, I think, where Imran Khan's going to try and find a way through. Not the widest of circuits, Cadwell Park, but look at the speed, and I think that these drivers do realise it's Imran Khan who's coming up behind him, so they're just giving him that extra room to find a way through. Stubbington runs out wide on the exit of Mansfield, so here comes on the inside line down towards the mountain then will be Andrew Lightstead, who's returning to Classic Stock Cats this weekend, but Stubbington moves in front. He had the speed perhaps off the outside line there at Mansfield, so they turn their way through the mountain then. Lightstead seeing that, he's just driving off into the distance. I don't think he'd be able to go from the inside into Hall Bends. What was the gap after first? I think it was 3 seconds for Matt Rosier. That shows you the pace he's got. Matt Stubbington, not usually a podium contender. This is really good going from him. Perhaps though not quite the pace that Lightstead has. So perhaps just hold him up slightly as they go down towards Barn Corner. You've got Lee Scott just behind him, and Dan Gibson not further back either, or Derek Rosier. So they're all coming up across the line. Matt Rosier puts another lap in the books. It's only lap 2, quite a long lap here at Cadwell Park for these cars. What's his lead now? 6.3 seconds, Matt Rosier. He's really showing that he is the class of the field here today in Classic Stock Cats. So lights it right onto the boot lid once again of Stubbington. Through the second part of Charlie's. Right underneath the 205. Lights it the best of the XR2s. This will be the first win, of course, of the 205 this season, if Matt Rosie managed to pull it off. Right, down towards Park Corner then, inside line, Lightstead's given himself now, breaks that bit later than Stubbington, so he can move up into second place. He owns the XR2 that's on the podium at the moment, that is quite remarkable. So, through goes Lightstead, then he's up into second. We get right on board with Keith Morgan, and he's got Imran Khan up on the inside of it as they turn through Chris Curve. And has Khan got it done? Yes. That's not Khan, is it? No, that's Colin Thorpe. He's next on the list is Imran Khan. So Colin Thorpe's gone through. Imran Khan's going to be thinking about going past down towards Mansfield, I'd imagine. If he can get the run off the corner, he's already got it done before the braking zone, really. So through goes Imran Khan. Now Colin Thorpe has actually managed to get away and all that. So Keith Morgan following Khan down towards the mountain. This third lap of the race. Andy Philpotts about another 5 seconds behind this trio. Of course, Philpotts will involved with Khan on that first lap instant. You see Khan carrying a lot more speed than Morgan through the mountain now down towards Hall Bends. Bit of a gap still for Khan to catch to Colin Thorpe. He's had quite good pace since this past Keith Morgan. Keith Morgan gets it all wrong through Hall Bends there. A huge sideways moment. He just stops the car before hitting the barriers. So down towards Barn Corner, Mervyn Beckett at the front of this in the Nova. Colin Thorpe going after him really well. This has been a strong lap from Thorpe. The number 52 car. 206 for him as he crosses the line. What did Khan do? 205, so slightly quicker. So they turn through Coppice Corner. Got Mervyn Beckett in the 32 car. He did a 208, so Thorpe a couple of seconds quicker than Beckett on that lap. And now Thorpe, look at this, he's making his move on the Nova, but no, couldn't do it. He was trying to find his way up on the inside as they go down the Park Straight, couldn't do that though. So as they go down the Park Corner, and I think the Nova probably just got the legs on him. That Nova is a triple car champion in classic stock. Actually, look at that, lots of understeer there for Beckett as the car tried to run out wide. He managed to gather it all up without losing any time or positions to Colin Thorpe though. Right, now down towards the gooseneck. Thorpe not really in a pace to pass. It's taking a little while for him and Khan to close it. Oh, look at Mervyn Beckett, he's almost got it wrong there. Into the gooseneck, the car was very sideways. He held onto it again very well. The ex-short track oval driver Mervyn Beckett. Race a Nova on the short tracks as well. That Nova looks a bit of a handful in these conditions around Cadwell. Down towards the mountain then. He's actually pulled away from Colin Thorpe. I wonder where he saw Beckett all sideways. He just built off the throttle a bit. And that's allowed, well, he has closed him up through the mountain. Look at the speed through the mountain from Colin Thorpe. But can't do anything about it. It's a really tough place to pass, this section of the circuit. The whole of Cadwell Park not that easy to overtake, and Beckett having to really slow the pace down round Hall Bends just to keep that Nova under control, it seems. So now turning to the hairpin again, just gets sideways. You shouldn't see. Oh, look at Dan Gibson's in the wall. Look at that, Dan Gibson. So yellow flags out there, right on the edge of the track, and out the race is Dan. It's a shame for him. Right, up across the line then, complete another lap 4. They completed 7 laps yesterday. In these drier conditions, it should be an 8 lapper. Here comes Khan then. He looks to the inside of Colin Thorpe. But this is certainly the wettest part of the circuit as they turn into Coppice Corner. Khan couldn't find a way through. And Beckett again reeling off the pace around the corners, which keeps that Nova then under control. And then he can put the power on when he feels like it, and that allows him just to make a gap. Khan seeing his opportunity now to get alongside Colin Thorpe, and now this will give him the inside line. He just puts his hand up there, it seems. But anyway, they're going down into Park Corner. He's already actually got it done, hasn't he? He's gone ahead of Colin Thorpe then. So Mervyn Beckett, yeah, again flings that Nova sideways through the corner. He's got that little bit of a gap, perhaps that's why, not needing to back them up. But look at the speed Khan is carrying around Chris Curve here. He goes to the inside of Beckett. Beckett closes the door in his face though. As they turn their way into Gooseneck though, and can't look into the inside line. Having to use all the curves there. Beckett keeping defensive. He's got good pace off the Gooseneck. He braked too late for Mansfield. No, he hooks the corner up really well there in that Nova. So he's actually pulled out a couple of car lengths to Imran Khan. As now they make their way down towards the mountain, and Khan a lot quicker through that first part of it. Beckett staying in front. Sits the car in the middle of the road down the Hall Bend, not giving Khan any opportunity to go through there. Then you can see the speed Khan's carrying on again. Beckett reeling the pace off through Hall Bend so he can defend the line well. Gets defensive into the hairpin. He runs out a bit wide though, so has allowed Khan perhaps to look to the inside. He can't do it though. And oh, look at Beckett. He holds on to it just about. He's now trying to shut the door, but Khan's alongside. So Imran Khan should be going through here as he looks from the outside. Oh, but Beckett, look at the speed of that Nova. He stays in front. I thought that was a done deal there after Beckett got it all wrong from the exit of the barn corner. But he stays in front then as they head now into Charlie's for another time. So it's still Beckett there then. In that, what position's he in? Sixth place now that Dan Gibson is out the race. So now Khan sitting in the slipstream of that Nova. Beckett perhaps a touch late now. Lightstead, as Beckett runs out wide. Is this going to allow Khan to come on the inside of him? No, again Beckett shuts the door. I just saw Andrew Lightstead in front. Oh, and Khan loses it. Across the grass he goes. He saw Beckett go sideways and he then sort of lost it himself. I don't know if that was in reaction to Beckett going sideways. As Beckett sideways into Gooseneck was going to allow Khan to close back up. We'll get my point across here. Andrew Lightstead just in front. He must have made a mistake because he's dropped now back to 5th place. We got the camera car is Andrew Lightstead, so we see a replay of that once this battle between Beckett and Khan is resolved, because this is quite a frantic battle between the Nova and the XR2i. Down towards the mountain then, once again. Beckett hugs the white line nicely there on the first part of the mountain. As he go to the middle of the road, yes he does that once again, more to the left hand side, so we've got a good turning point for the Hall Bend. This is where Khan is very fast. We hit that curb, it's actually dislodged the camera slightly, which means we can't see the Nova as well as we could. There we can. Actually it's going to be good now because we can see the side of the car. There's up on the inside goes Khan into barn corner. He's got it done up on the inside of Mervyn Beckett, so he's now up into that position. Now we can take a look at the replay with Lightstead through coppice. The car just breaks away on the X in the corner and he goes for a spin if he can avoid the barriers. Round it goes and just misses the tyre wall. Wet grass again, not the easiest thing to get off. He did eventually, but down in 5th position. So now it's Matt Rosa that has over 10-second lead to Lee Scott in 3rd. It's Derek Rosa, that could be his first podium of the season. 4th is Matt Stubbington, and in 5th position with Andrew Lightstead recovered. Final time then into the mountain, the 2205 just in front of Lightstead. Lightstead has been closing a minute. It's Derek Rozier in that 3rd place and Matt Stubbington in 4th. And Lightstead would have needed another lap, I think, to be able to find a way through, but he's going to maybe give it a good shot. He was 4 seconds behind at the beginning of this lap. That is the speed he is closing in, and we've got a car in the wall there at Hall Bend. That's Alan Dooley. Only 13 cars are going to make it to the end. There's Damien Cottrell, Bill Pereira and Martin Kaiser didn't make the start. But across the line already has come Matt Rozier. He's taken the victory by 9 seconds to Lee Scott. This battle is 20 seconds behind Scott. In 3rd place, Derek Rozier crosses the line. 4th is Stubbington and 5th Lightstead.